I remember the day I first stepped into the big glass building like it was yesterday. My name is Evelyn, and I was 23 years old, fresh out of college with a marketing degree and a heart full of dreams. I grew up in a tiny town where everyone knew everyone, and the biggest adventure was the county fair every summer. But now I was in the city, loud, bright, and full of people rushing everywhere. I wore my best blue dress, the one my mom helped me pick, and my hair was tied back in a neat ponytail. I carried a small black bag with my resume, a pen, and a little notebook where I wrote down my ideas. My hands were shaking a little as I pressed the elevator button for the 5th floor. The doors opened, and I walked into a world I had only seen in movies. Phones were ringing, computers were humming, and the smell of fresh coffee filled the air. A kind woman named Lisa smiled at me from the front desk. "You must be Evelyn," she said. "Welcome to Bright Future Ads. Your boss is John. He'll be here soon. Let me show you your desk." She led me through rows of cubicles to a small spot near a big window. The desk had a computer, a phone, and a tiny green plant in a pot. I sat down and took a deep breath. This was my new life. My chance to prove I could be more than just a small-town girl. I waited, looking around, trying to act calm. People were talking, laughing, typing fast. Some wore headphones, others carried stacks of papers. I felt so small. What if I made a mistake on my first day? What if they saw right through me and knew I was scared? Then I heard footsteps, strong and sure. I looked up, and there he was. John. My boss. He was tall, with dark hair that looked a little messy in a good way, bright blue eyes, and a smile that made the whole room feel warmer. He wore a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows and a tie that hung loose around his neck. He looked about 35, strong and confident, like someone who knew exactly what he was doing. "Evelyn," he said, walking straight to my desk. His voice was deep but kind. He held out his hand. I stood up quickly and shook it. His hand was warm and firm, and for a second, I forgot to breathe. "I'm John. Welcome to the team. Come to my office, let's talk." I followed him down a short hallway to a corner office with huge windows that looked out over the city. The sun was shining in, making everything bright. There were books on shelves, colorful posters on the walls, and shiny awards on a table. He sat behind a big wooden desk, and I sat in a chair across from him. "Tell me about yourself," he said, leaning forward a little, his eyes locked on mine. I started talking, maybe too fast. I told him about growing up in my small town, how I loved drawing and making up stories as a kid, how I studied marketing because I wanted to create things that made people smile. I talked about my favorite school projects, like the one where we made a fake ad for a candy bar. He listened the whole time, nodding, asking questions that showed he really cared. "What makes a good ad?" he asked. "Why do you think colors matter?" I answered the best I could, and by the end, he was smiling big. "I like your energy, Evelyn. You'll start on the coffee campaign tomorrow. Work with the team, but if you need anything, my door is open." I walked out of his office feeling like I was floating. My first day, and my boss already believed in me. That night, I called my mom and told her everything. She was so proud, but she warned me, "Work hard, honey. First impressions last." I promised I would. The next morning, I arrived early, dressed in a grey skirt and white blouse. The coffee campaign was exciting. We had to make ads for a new brand called Morning Glow, something that would make people wake up happy. The team was fun: Lisa, who was funny and always had snacks, Tom, who knew everything about computers, and Sarah, who was super creative with designs. We sat in a meeting room with whiteboards and markers, throwing ideas around. John came in halfway through, listened quietly, then said, "Good start, but think bigger. What if the coffee isn't just a drink? What if it's an adventure?" He looked right at me when he said it, and I felt a spark. I raised my hand. Like, show people jumping out of bed, ready for the day, with the coffee as their superpower? He grinned. "Exactly. Run with that, Evelyn." The weeks flew by. I learned so much. How to use design software, how to write catchy slogans, how to present ideas without stuttering. I made mistakes too, like the time I spelled energize wrong on a big poster. My face burned red, but John just laughed kindly. "Happens to everyone. Fix it and move on. He was tough when he needed to be, but always fair. He'd stay late with the team, ordering pizza when we worked overtime. And he always remembered little things. One day, I mentioned I liked black coffee, no sugar. The next morning, there was a cup on my desk with a note, "Fuel for the adventure." I started noticing him more. Not just as my boss, but as a person. The way he laughed with his whole face, crinkles around his eyes. How he rolled up his sleeves when he was thinking hard. The stories he told about his hikes in the mountains, how he loved being out in nature, away from the city noise. He was divorced, he said once during a team lunch. No kids. His ex-wife wanted different things, he explained, but he didn't sound bitter, just honest. I shared my stories too about my big family back home, Sunday dinners with grandma's apple pie, how I was scared of failing in the big city. We talked easily, like we'd known each other forever. One day, after a long meeting, everyone left except us. It was just me and John in the conference room, cleaning up markers and papers. The sun was setting, painting the walls orange. "You're doing great, Evelyn," he said, stacking chairs. "Really? I'm impressed." I smiled, feeling warm inside. "Thanks to you. You push me to be better." He stopped and looked at me. "Life needs experiences to learn," he said. "That's what I always say. Books and classes are good, but getting out there, trying, failing, trying again, that's where the magic happens." I nodded. "I believe that now. Coming here was my first big experience." He smiled soft. "And it's just the start." Those words stayed with me. Life needs experiences. I thought about them a lot. I was learning at work, but what about the rest of life? Love. Risks. I had dated a couple boys in college, but nothing serious. Just awkward movies and shy kisses. Nothing that felt like an adventure. Then came the office party. We had just won a huge client, a big soda company wanted our ads. Everyone was excited. The party was in the main lobby, with music, lights, and tables full of food. I wore a red dress for the first time, something bold and flowy. I let my hair down, curls falling over my shoulders. When I walked in, heads turned a little, but I was looking for one person. John. He was talking to Tom near the drinks, but when he saw me, he stopped. His eyes went wide. "Evelyn," he said, walking over. "You look, wow. Different. Beautiful different." I laughed, my cheeks hot. "Thanks." Felt like trying something new. We got drinks, sparkling water for me, beer for him, and talked. The music was loud, people dancing. He asked if I wanted to dance. I said yes, even though I was bad at it. We moved to the floor, his hand on my waist, mine on his shoulder. It felt natural. Fun. After a few songs, he leaned close. "Too noisy here. Want to see the rooftop? It's quiet up there." I nodded. We slipped away, taking the stairs to the top of the building. The rooftop was magic. The city lights twinkled below us like a million stars on the ground. The air was cool, wind gentle. We stood by the edge, looking out. "This is my favorite spot," he said. "When work gets crazy, I come here to think." I breathed deep. "It's beautiful. Like a different world." We stood close, shoulders almost touching. Then he turned to me. "Evelyn, I need to say something. I like working with you. A lot. But it's more than that. I like you. As a person. More than a boss should, maybe." My heart raced. "I like you too, John. More than I should." He smiled, relieved. Then he touched my cheek, soft, and leaned in. His lips met mine. It was gentle at first, like a question. Then deeper, warmer. My first real kiss that felt like fireworks. I pulled back after a moment, breathless. "But you're my boss." He nodded. "I know. It's complicated. Just think about it. No pressure." I thought about it all weekend. Paced my tiny apartment, talked to my mirror, called my best friend from home. "He's your boss," she said. "But he sounds amazing." Was it wrong? Yes. Risky? Definitely. But life needs experiences, I told myself. And this felt like one worth trying. Monday came. The office was busy as always. I acted normal in meetings, but my eyes kept finding John. He smiled secret smiles. After everyone left that evening, I knocked on his office door. He looked up, surprised. "Evelyn? Everything okay?" I closed the door behind me. I thought about it. About us. "I want to try. If you do." His face lit up. He stood, walked around the desk, and pulled me into a hug. Not a kiss, just a hug. Warm, safe. "I do," he whispered. "We'll take it slow. Figure it out together." And that's how it started. Slow at first. Secret lunches at a park nearby, where we'd sit on a bench and share sandwiches. Walks to the train station, talking about everything, favorite movies, childhood memories, dreams for the future. He loved old rock music. I loved pop songs I danced to in my room. He wanted to travel the world one day. I wanted to see the ocean up close. We laughed a lot. Held hands under the table during team meetings that were just us. Work got even better. Our ideas flowed like water. The coffee campaign. We made it huge. Billboards with people skydiving, holding coffee cups, slogans like "Wake up to adventure." It won awards. John gave me credit in front of the whole company. "Evelyn's vision made this happen," he said. I beamed, but keeping secrets is hard. One day, Lisa saw us leaving together. "What's going on with you two?" she asked with a wink. I panicked, but she just laughed. "Your secret's safe. You look happy." Rumors started anyway. Whispers in the break room. A guy named Mark, who wanted my spot on the team, got mad when I got a small promotion. He spread mean stories that I didn't earn it, that I was too close to the boss. It hurt like a punch. I cried in the bathroom stall. John found out. He was furious. "I should fire him," he said. But I shook my head. "No. Let's prove them wrong with our work." And we did. The next project, a car ad, was my lead. It was a hit. Sales boomed. Rumors faded like smoke. Summer brought the company retreat. A weekend at a lake, cabins in the woods, team games during the day, bonfire at night. We played volleyball. I was terrible, but John cheered loudest. Evenings, we sang songs around the fire, roasting marshmallows. Our cabins were separate, but one night, I couldn't sleep. The stars were so bright. I texted John, "Meet me by the water." He was there in pajamas, hair messy. We sat on the dock, feet dangling in the cool lake. "This feels like a dream," I said. He took my hand. "A good one. I don't want to wake up." We talked until the sun came up, about fears, about love. "I've been hurt before," he admitted. "My ex, it ended bad. But with you, I want to try again." I squeezed his hand. "Me too." Fall came, leaves turning red and gold. We said "I love you" for the first time in his car, stuck in rain traffic. It just came out natural. "I love you, Evelyn." "I love you too, John." No big moment, just truth. Winter holidays. He met my family. We drove to my small town, snow on the ground. My parents were nervous, a big city boss. But John won them over. Helped Dad fix the fence, played cards with Mom, ate 3 helpings of pie. "He's a keeper," Mom whispered. I met his sister in the city. She hugged me tight. John's never been this happy. 1 year after that rooftop kiss, he surprised me. "Close your eyes," he said after work. He led me up the stairs, same rooftop. But now there were fairy lights strung up, a blanket on the ground, a picnic basket with cheese, grapes, and my favorite chocolate. We ate, laughed about old times, the spelling mistake, the party dance. Then he got serious. Stood up. Knelt down on one knee. Pulled out a little box with a simple diamond ring that sparkled under the lights. "Evelyn," he said, voice shaky, "you changed my life. You're my partner, my friend, my everything. Will you marry me?" Tears rolled down my face. I couldn't talk, just nodded yes, yes, yes. He slipped the ring on, stood, and we hugged under the stars. We told the office. Some cheered, some were shocked. HR made rules. John moved to a new floor. I got a different manager. But it was okay. We were honest now. No more secrets, the wedding was perfect. Spring, on a beach at sunset. Waves crashing soft, sand warm under our feet. I wore a white dress that flowed in the wind. John in a light grey suit. Only close family and friends, 40 people total. Lisa was my maid of honor, crying happy tears. We wrote vows. Mine, I promise to grow with you, choose adventure with you, love you every day. His, you're my home, my joy. I'll walk every path with you. We exchanged rings, kissed as the sun dipped low. Everyone clapped. That night, we danced barefoot on the sand. Married life was even better. We bought a small house with a white fence and a garden out back. I planted flowers, roses, sunflowers. John built a bench where we sat with coffee every morning. He made scrambled eggs, I made toast with jam. We got a dog, Max, a fluffy rescue with big brown eyes. Evenings, we walked him around the neighborhood, holding hands, talking about our day. Work grew too. I led my own team now, creating campaigns for toys, clothes, even a pet food brand. John became vice president. We traveled for fun, hiking in green mountains, where he'd carry my backpack when I got tired, weekends in cozy cabins with fireplaces, a trip to the ocean, where I finally saw waves up close, blue and endless. We laughed, took photos, made memories. Fights happened sometimes. Like when he worked too late and forgot our dinner plans. I got mad, slammed a door. But we talked it out, apologized, hugged. Or when I felt insecure about a pretty new coworker, he reassured me, you're my only one. We learned to communicate, to listen. Then the biggest surprise. One morning, I felt sick. Not flu sick, different. I took a test in the bathroom, hands shaking. 2 lines. Pregnant. I showed John that night. He stared, then cried, big tears. A baby, he whispered. Our baby. We hugged, danced around the living room like kids. 9 months later, Hope was born. Tiny, with my dark hair and John's blue eyes. Labor was long, hard, but John held my hand the whole time. You're so strong, he kept saying. When she cried her first cry, we both sobbed happy. John changed diapers, rocked her at night, sang silly songs. I took time off, then went back part-time. We balanced it all, work, home, love. Now, years later, I'm 30, John's 40. Hope is toddling around, saying mama and dada, chasing Max in the garden. We still work at Bright Future, bigger now, with more teams. Evenings, family dinners. Weekends, parks or movie nights with popcorn. We teach Hope what John taught me, try new things. Be brave. Life is about experiences. Sometimes I look at old photos, the blue dress day, the red dress party, the rooftop proposal. That scared girl became a woman, a wife, a mom. All because I decided to try one experience. To say yes to a kiss, to love, to risks. John and I still go to that rooftop sometimes. City lights below, stars above. We hold hands, remember. Best decision ever, he says. You, I say back. Life needs experiences to learn. I tried one. It gave me everything, a love that grows, a family that laughs, a story that never ends, and it all started with a smile in an office, a note about coffee, and a belief that trying is the way to live.